Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and it's Sunday, so I am here with Scraplift Crafternoon, a hop where a group of my friends and I find some inspiration and we scrap lift it, and we'll use the same layout so you get a different take from, depending on how many of us there are, 3, 4, 5 of us, sometimes 6. So today we are scrap lifting Rebeca Ruiz, and her information will be below, and it is a super cute layout with 3 pictures going down and lots of bright colors, so I decided to kind of stick with that. So I'm going to use this Echo Park Beach, I think it's called Beach Day. I know it was right in front of me just a second ago. Yep, Beach Day. And then also I'm going to bring in some pool party embellishments to go with that. I've got some scraps and this stripy paper that I'm going to use for the side. And then I have a couple of stencils that I'm going to use. This one is from Bramble Fox, and I thought that I'd use that as my raise. And then I'm going to add a little something with the waves, and I've got 2 colors, although I'm going to bring in a couple other little accent colors. I've got my distress tool and lots of embellishments from the Pool Party collection. So I have my papers, my embellishments, my mixed media and stencils. I have these cute pictures and this great layout. So let's see how this goes. So first things first, I'm going to put this Bramble Fox stencil down because this is the closest thing I have to like a ray. I'm gonna have to remedy that, you all, because like I love the look of that. But I think this turns out just fine. I use the squeezed lemonade, but then I also add a little texture and a contrasting yellowy color. I think it's probably mustard seed, but or it could be fossilized amber. I just pulled out the darker yellow dauber that was in my drawer. And then I'm going to put down this other stencil, and this one is the Simple Stories Waves stencil. And I just put that down at the bottom, and I put the Salty Ocean through it. I mean, what better to make waves than Salty Ocean? And then I also added a little bit of whatever was on the dark blue dauber, and I'm pretty sure it's probably Chip Sapphire, and it just gives it a little bit of dimension, and I love the way that it turned out. So then I'm going to build that big chunk of paper on the right side, and I'm using only the Beach Day papers. And I built it up to be about 7 inches because I wanted to make sure it came all the way over to the sun rays in the ocean, so there was no gap between there. So I built that up, and I add a couple of different things to give me all the different layers that she's got on here. And then I'm going to mat my pictures with scraps from this collection. And I love this wood grain. I love wood grain papers. They're so fun. And the dark aqua teal color is like a distressed wood grain, which I love. And I did use that that border sticker that is in between the stripe paper and that aqua is from the Pool Party collection. And I had to cut it because it was not a full 12 inches, which I find to be ridiculous, but that's okay because I'm just gonna make sure that little part gets covered. And I mostly cover it with the picture, which I've matted all of these once, and then I use some scraps to add another little layer underneath there because her pictures, which I think are probably smaller than mine, her pictures are matted, it looks like 2 or 3 times, kind of wonky, and I love that look. But I didn't have enough paper and didn't want to cut up another paper, so I just used the scraps and kind of tucked it behind and gave it that same kind of look. So I would guess that her pictures may be 2.5 or 2 inches by square, and mine are 3 by 3 because I couldn't cut them down anymore, or I would have cut my child's face up, and nobody wants that. So these pictures are my daughter, my niece, and my work bestie, and they're buried in the sand, although it is their picture instead of them, which I think is pretty obvious, but I figured I'd put that out there. My daughter does not typically lick sand, just so you know. And it really was just kind of a joke because unfortunately they were not able to go with us to our normal spring break beach trip this year. One of them was in another country and the other one had to work. It's what happens when you grow up. And so they didn't get to go. And then, of course, my work bestie wasn't really planning on going, but I kind of, as a joke, last minute decided I was going to print her picture and take her with me too so that I could take some fun pictures. Kind of like if you know who Flat Stanley is. It's the same concept. I did this in 2016 with my grandmother. I took a flat grandma and she went on vacation with us. And I took pictures of her with the kids and my parents and my aunt and me and like all of us doing all the things we do on our normal trip. We took pictures of her with us and sent them to her or posted them on Facebook. And so she was vicariously living through her flat grandma picture. So that's what gave me the idea. And so that's what I did. So I didn't do as much crazy with them, but I did bury them in the sand. And if you watch the 30 Days of Sketches, you will also see some other things that I do with them. Just because that's the kind of crazy people we are. So I have now cut this tag out of a scrap and it's 2.5 inches deep, and then I just cut however long it needed to be to go from one side to the other. But before I put that down, I'm going to make the sunshine. And honestly, I probably should have moved it up and had it connect the dang rays because it kind of looks a little wonky. But I'm perfectly fine with how it ends up. But I just use the ink that is on the dauber to make this kind of circular shape. And I say kind of loosely because that is not really very circular, but I cover the parts up that you can't really tell anymore. So I get that tag down, and on her layout she's got the title, like this really big title right there, and I considered doing that, and then I thought I would use this beach and sunshine for my title, but really I end up using that more as a filler for the space because there is such a big gap between the waves and the sunshine. So I go ahead and put that down with the little surfboard. Not that any of us were surfing, but you know, I don't have to have a reason, guys. I just wanted it there, and it looks good, and it brings all the colors that I need, because obviously the colors from the pool party are not the same from the beach day. I mean, they work well together in my opinion, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And I added enough of both things, so I think that it, you know, ends up looking, I like the way it ends up. How about that? So I'm just building clusters and trying to figure out what to do with this tag. So I put the cloud here on top of the pineapple, so it kind of breaks up everything in that corner. Plus, this tag maker is not my favorite. Like, I don't like this humpy looking into the tag. I want the more clean cut ones. So that's going to have to be on my wish list next, is the more clean cut tag maker, because I don't really like the way that these look. So henceforth why I've covered one side with that round chipboard embellishment, which is a starfish, and then the pineapple and the cloud up there in the top part. So you can still kind of tell it's a tag. I cover the tag hole with a little seashell embellishment. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look into getting a new tag maker, because sometimes this one's okay, but typically my favorite is, you know, a flat tag. And yes, I know I could probably make one myself, but it's gonna look uneven, promise. So I am just adding some different things around. I finish off my layout with some Tim Holtz word phrases that just say things like creativity takes courage, look on the bright side, and choose to see the good. And just for a little bit of filler, honestly, I put that pail on there, which I thought was really cute since it's, you know, what you used in the sand. And then it says, you can find me under the palm trees. And so I think that'll probably end up being my title. And so that is it. I love this layout. It was really cute. And I do like the way that it turned out. And the colors and stuff work pretty darn well together, if I do say so myself. So I hope that you all have enjoyed this kind of random and crazy third attempt at my voiceover. and layout. And I hope that you will go check out the other ladies. There will be a playlist listed below for you. You can click on that and it will just take you to all of the people who are hopping along this week. And also the information about Rebecca will be down there. So you can go and check her out and watch how she created her original layout. So I hope that you'll come back and see me again really soon. I should be here every day this month. Have a great day and happy scrapping.